Welcome back to the Daily Lift. Have you ever heard the story of the blind men and the elephant? Well, the story goes these three blind men were walking in a jungle pathway and they came across an elephant blocking their way. And not being familiar with this animal, they start to question, what is it? And the first blind man, he comes up and grabs the ear and he says, I think it's a fan. And the second, grabbing the trunk, says, no, it's got to be a large snake. And the third, grabbing the elephant's tail, he says, no, you're both wrong. I think it's a rope. Now, each blind man here touches a different part of the elephant and believes it's something entirely different based on their narrow perspective and limited experience and ability. And so many of us develop our perspective based on a very narrow view that we likely inherited or learned from somewhere. And what's worse, we begin to believe that skewed perspective as an unmovable reality. And this prevents us from being able to expand past that narrow viewpoint. And like these blind men, our perspectives can lead to misguided beliefs. Proverbs 18:13 says, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. So when we judge without fully understanding, this can result in error and shame. So to grow in wisdom, we need to develop and stand by beliefs, but we also need to have an open and curious mind, and we need to welcome the evidence wherever it may lead. Proverbs 1:5 says, in Solomon, he says, a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. There's one way, only one way, to never be wrong, and that is by never assuming you're right in the first place. James 1:19 says, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. So when we listen carefully and we are open to being corrected, it helps us align ourselves with the truth. And just like these blind men, our perspectives can be limited by our own experiences and assumptions. So by acknowledging our limitations and remaining open to new insights, we grow in wisdom and understanding. So let's strive to develop our beliefs with an open heart, welcoming the evidence that brings us closer to the full truth. And as always, let's go lift somebody up.